And how's everyone doing today? So today we're here with the HBX Ratchet, and we're gonna do some upgrades. I got these are all HBX super parts, and I got the oil shocks and the all metal axle kit with the metal hexes. And I believe I paid $29, $30 for all of it, so that's really cheap for upgrades. Let me slide these to the side for a second, and I'll show you why I'm upgrading. So these shocks, pogo stickers, they're okay, but I mean they're okay with the rebound. It's still kind of it bottoms out pretty easy. But the thing that I really don't like is if you look the way these are designed, when you push up, I've gotten rocks in them. So now you see that side's higher than the other. It's not dropping back down all the way because it gets rocks stuck up in there, dirt and whatever else, and so they'll start sticking on you, and that really hinders your performance. So I wanted to switch those out, and while I was at it, I figured, well, I kind of wanted to switch out the axles too, because these will give me the keys through there and the nuts to go on the end instead of the little Phillips head screw deals. And the reason being for that is I would really like to fit this thing with paddle tires. And they take the key end. And these ones I'll have to fab up for the front a little bit. I'll probably just end up setting something in there with a key cut across it. We'll get to that one after we do these upgrades. Oh, set this back here, and let's open these parts up and have a look at them. Well, these look like pretty decent little metal drive shafts. CVDs, whatever you want to call them. Dog bone on the other end. And it comes with little lock nuts. And your hexes. We'll slide those over for now. And have a look at these shocks. Okay, so they come with new attachment screws. Little baby shocks themselves. Don't imagine there's any oil in there. We'll have ourselves a look. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so they're already filled. I don't know how well you can see, but I mean that's pretty full. So these things are ready to rock right from the package. That's pretty awesome. So I'm sure you can adjust them with whatever weight you'd like, but this may be the first set of shocks I've ever got that come pre-filled. I'm guessing there's a little air in there since it's rebounding. But all right, I'm gonna get set up and we'll get to pulling this thing apart and at least install one on each side together. That way you can see how it installs, and then we'll go for a test drive from there. All right, I've put our parts in some magnetic trays, kind of keep them organized. And first thing I'm gonna do is pull off the tires. And the way these come, they have a little hex adapter pressed up inside there. So we will need to remove that before we put the new aluminum ones in. That just pops out. I just usually use a little Allen head. That off to the side. Okay. That looks for our axles. You have a little baby Phillips head screw right there where my thumb's at. Pop that little guy out. That should just lean forward, and it does. There you go. There's your old axles. I mean, they're not bad. I really haven't had any problems out of them. The new ones should just slide right in. Pop this end in first. Fits nice. Pushes right back up in the dog bone, no problem. In the cup. Tighten it back down into place. There we have it. It's set up here, and we'll move on to the shocks. Okay, so I've gone ahead and installed the rest of the axle shafts, and I put 3 of the 4 shocks on, and I figured I'd throw the last one on together. Now, one thing I did notice, when you're installing your front shocks, you're going to need to put washers right here, because if not, they'll rub up against your tie bar there. But just a couple little washers, and then you'll get plenty of clearance. Do this back shock. It takes Phillips head screws. You have one on the bottom and one on top. They're quite long on the bottom. On the top, you got just enough room to slide in. On the other side, I was able to slide it under the wing. Might be easier to take the wing off, though. That's all there is to it. Went ahead and removed the rear wing to make it a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. I'm replacing the long screw back into the bottom, that new eye socket. Starts in right there. See if we can get this top one started. Kind of a tricky little one to get in there. There it goes. Yeah, it's a real tight fit in there. Well, there we go. Now it drops again. All right. I'm going to throw the wheels and the wing back on. Then we'll be ready to take it out for a test drive. It's all back together. Nice aluminum shocks and steel axles. Aluminum hexes now on the end, and seems to be a lot better on the suspension. I may crank the front springs down a little bit more because they are really light springs, but that is night and day difference compared to how it was. All right, let's get this thing out and give it a good test run. And if you want these parts, I'll go ahead and put the link in the description.